This is Mike with AskTractorMike.com. One of the toughest things to learn when you first get a tractor is how to use a front end loader. And I've done other videos that covered kind of the same ground. Today I have a manure pile to move. If you watch my channel often, we scrape the lot with a rock rake to get all the waste hay out of it and manure, and it's in a kind of a nasty pile, and we want to move it to a compost pile. And so I'm going to do that today, and I'm going to give you a few principles to use when you're using a front end loader for the first time. First thing, we're going to lock our tractor in four-wheel drive right up front. If you're going to drive on pavement for an extended period of time, I take it out of four-wheel drive, but the only thing I'm doing is crossing a driveway, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm putting it in four-wheel drive and leaving it for the entire duration of the project. Second thing, this is the hardest thing to learn when you're first starting out with a tractor, and that is to take your loader bucket and get it dead level with the ground and put it just right at the base of the ground. You don't want to be digging in, you don't want to be angled one way or the other. If you're dead level and you push in, you're going to pick up a big pile of stuff. And tendency is for a lot of people as they're pushing in to curl their bucket back, and you don't want to do that. You want to push until you feel the tractor starting to kind of dig in, maybe the wheels start spinning, and then stop, and then lift your loader up, still level, lift it up and push and lift it up, kind of like a stair-step approach into the pile. One other thing I was going to say, you may have this and not know you have it, and you may not have it, but a tractor with a level bucket indicator is really, really handy. And a level bucket indicator is a rod with a little curve in it and on the loader. And when I get to the top of that curve, I know that bucket is level when it's flat on the ground. And if you have one of those, watch it. If you don't have one, it's possible that was an option for your loader and it wasn't equipped with it, and you can order it from your dealer, or it's possible it was on there and got ripped off. I've seen that on a lot of tractors carrying loads around, and you might be able to order the replacement parts, but one of those level bucket indicators is real handy. And again, it's just a rod that goes from the pivot point of the bucket through a little bracket, and when the loop on the top of it is at the top of the bracket, then I know that bucket is level and I can go into the pile. And that's the best way to get as much in the bucket as you can. And when you feel like you're reaching capacity, tilt that bucket back up. Now, I'm in kind of a little bit of a hilly area here, so once I get a full bucket, I'm going to pick it up, but I'm not going to carry it as high as it'll go, because that makes the tractor kind of goofy on hills. I'm going to carry my load as low as I can until I get to the compost pile. Then I'm going to lift it up and dump it, and there won't be any problem. But I'm just going to show you some footage here of me doing this. It takes a lot of time to get proficient at this, but the main thing is to get that loader bucket just as level as you can when you're coming into the pile, and not tilt it or curl it as you're going, but lift the entire loader up and stair step it to get under the load and keep pushing, and you'll know when you've got a full load. You may notice on the tractor I've got my brush hog on the back as kind of a counterweight. That helps in moving the most material and keeping the tractor stable. I have fluid in the tires as ballast. That helps a bunch. I have my moving manure clothes on today. My wife says I always need to dress up a little bit nicer and look professional when I'm doing these videos, but when I'm moving manure, this is what I want to dress like. And I am comfortable. There are actually horseflies out here the size of small birds. One other thing, if you have hydrostatic drive, you want to be on the low end. You want to be in your low range. My particular tractor has a 2-speed shift on the go, so I'll pick up my load in low speed and then shift it to high as I'm going to the compost pile. Not high range, but high speed of the low range, and then that gets me up there. The other thing, a lot of people try to do this at idle, with the tractor idling. You want to have your RPMs up. I usually keep my RPMs up around 1600 RPMs or better, just so the loader works fast. And finally, when you get to the dump pile, especially with manure, dump it and then kind of give it a second little jolt of the joystick to make sure all of it comes out, because sometimes a little bit will stick in. You may notice after you've done this a while that you start to pick up the bucket and it won't go up. Congratulations, you have a full load in the bucket and you've exceeded the lift capacity of your tractor. If you do that, You've found out how to successfully load a bucket totally full of material. Congratulations, you're now a certified front end loader operator. I survive on web traffic. I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this video with other tractor enthusiasts and like my Facebook page. And if you have questions or comments, put them below. I'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching.